The reason why I'm in that field is because I've always had quite a lot of, I guess, empathy for people, and I've always wanted to be a part of helping people. Hi KLAT, my name's Bouchard and I'm here for my Get to Know Me with KLAT. Yeah, of course, there's been quite a few. It was a long process making the album. I mean, I started it back from like the very first lockdown back in April of 2020 or whatever it was. So it was a long process and a lot of moments along that journey. Obviously contributed towards it, and it was a gradual process of writing over those several years as changes happened in my life. If I was going to say maybe one specific moment, then probably when I think it was around the end of 2022, and a bunch of my friends, we all went to Cyprus together for a little weekend. And it was such a sort of joyous few days together, enjoying the sun, enjoying the beach, enjoying each other's company more than anything. And having come back from that, I felt sort of a new sort of happiness or weight off my shoulders, which I talk about in the album as well. And it's, yeah, probably one of the key moments that made a big impact on me and to some extent was transformative going forward now. So I work as a pharmacist during the day. That's my sort of a normal day job. It's certainly something that I think the reason why I'm in that field is because I've always had quite a lot of, I guess, empathy for people, and I've always wanted to be a part of helping people both in a medical sense and generally with how they sort of improving people's lives ultimately. And I think when it comes to my music, and then also when it comes to then my day job as well, that's both of those I aim for both of those to have that sort of impact on people. So yeah, I guess there's a common goal there, which is, yeah, but with both of those fields, that's what I'm trying to achieve. Yeah, there's been a lot, and I've enjoyed all of them, to be honest. But I think, you know, I've done a lot with Harry Jowett was all over the album. I've done quite a few things with him separately as well. Always really enjoy working with him. He's super talented. There is a singer from France called King, who I've also worked with quite a lot on this album, and she's been really good to work with, super talented as well, quite excited for what she does in the future. Probably if I was going to highlight anyone, it would be Minas, given that we've created, you know, he's produced this whole album with me, we've made songs together in the past, we made an EP together in the past called Grace, and yeah, I think we've had a really tight working relationship for, you know, probably about 6 years at this point, so yeah, he's kind of my go-to man, so I always love working with him. You know, being in London is quite different from Cardiff in some ways. It's, I feel like musically a bit less of a community feel. That's what I really like about being in Wales, is that everybody kind of knows each other. Everybody, you know, there's specific places where you know that you're going to find people. Everybody's kind of, just a bit more of a team effort in some ways compared to London, where it's obviously just a bit too big to really have that. I think everyone's kind of got their own separate little things going on. At the same time, the talent in London is unbelievable. There's obviously a lot of amazing music. So a lot of my favourite music that's come from there. Being around that is very inspiring. And there is so many events to go to, so many things to get involved in, so many people who are achieving amazing things. I think that can be quite good in terms of how it impacts me, I guess, confidence for a lot of it. I think that's something that sometimes I've struggled with my music and generally as well. But I think in being around such a sort of lively scene, both in Cardiff and London, has been really good for that, and forming the friendships that I have through that as well has been, yeah, impactful, and then that influences then what I write about as well. So yeah, I think that's kind of answers that question. It's been really nice to get that recognition from the radio stations, playlists and so on, I don't really care that much, to be honest. It's nice, but that's not the thing that kind of really inspires me or motivates me. I think the things that are really impacting me more so is when people have given me messages or conversations with people that tells me that they've really connected with the music, they've taken things from it, they've learnt things from it, they've, particularly after the album as well, I was kind of inundated with those kind of messages, which was really, really beautiful. I think particularly I had to put so much of myself into something to see that other people were connecting their own story to it and taking things from it that they could apply to their own lives. That meant far more than any of the playlists or radio or anything, but I do appreciate that side of things still. Yeah, of course. So Volcano Season is a good friend of mine. We were in school together, so we've known each other at least 10 years now, if not a bit longer. He's a really talented producer, a bit more of a sort of lo-fi sound, and when it comes to the creative side of things, it's a bit more of a fun, sort of light-hearted undertaking compared to a lot of my solo stuff, where I kind of delve quite deep into myself and really try to dig out all the nooks and crannies of my personality and character and story. But I think with the Salads and stuff, it's a lot more about experimenting with different sounds, just trying to have as much fun as we can, really. It's kind of short, snappy, little tunes here and there, and to kind of create sort of a nice vibe. It's a bit more fast-paced, so yeah, just having as much fun as we can, basically. Yeah, if my music was a salad, I think, it's just got to be good, healthy ingredients, lots of greens, lots of, you've got your superfoods in there. We need your, your kale and your, I like tomatoes, I like broccoli. We're putting all the healthiest things you can have in there. We're going to music that's good for your heart, good for your soul, good for your stomach, good for your mind. Anything that helps. It was really nice to get some funding from them. It was helpful when making the album. I used that funding to make the music videos and to do a lot of the imagery and the photos and stuff for the album. So like the video we did for Swan Song, the video we did for Sometimes, all the artwork, helped with some of the recording and mastering and all these kind of costs that come into it as well. A lot of the promotional stuff, the marketing and all that as well. So yeah, thanks Steve Music, appreciate that. Good to have a little hand there. I think music is very expensive to make, so was definitely a good helping hand to get this project done. Okay. If I was gonna prescribe a song, let's see. I mean, there's a lot of songs that come to mind. I think, I think a song that, Hey Ya by Outkast. Hey Ya by Outkast. I would prescribe that song to people because whenever I hear that song, I feel happy, despite it being a sad song. I think that's an incredible song. Arguably the greatest song ever made. That's my little contribution to the conversation. So yeah, I'd go for that. Pure sadness. This Old Sky, that's a little venture that me and my good friend and collaborator Eric have sort of put together. The plan for that is to release music through there, which we have. So my album was released through there. Harry Jowett's last couple of EPs have been released through there as well. And it's kind of trying to be a bit more of an overall creative venture. So we're talking about, the music videos are This Old Sky videos with, considering in the future then like exhibitions, interviews, articles, trying to just kind of get a bit more of sort of an overall creative output, which can all come under then that branch of being in the solid sky. So yeah, we're going to try and make that happen. It's early days. Okay, if I was going to time travel and do a duet with any historical figure and what genre it would be, I don't know if any of you heard the new Lupe Fiasco album. It's called Samurai, and it's basically like an envisionment of what Amy Winehouse would have sounded like if she was rapping, which apparently was a direction that she was going to go in. If I was going to go back in time and do a duet with anybody, I'm rapping with Amy Winehouse because I want to find out how good she would have been. I'm going for that. I would probably be Rain, you know? I know Rain's miserable, but then I can be miserable a lot of the time as well. But when you get rain and you get sun, you get a rainbow. You see what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's kind of beautiful. I think water is very important for the world. Rain is miserable, but you know, sometimes we need that. I think, you know, it's good to have that little bit of, good to be vulnerable to those emotions sometimes. And then after you've done that, you can start to see the sun. You can see that rainbow. So I'm going with that.